story of all of us, in my opinion, is the story of greed. People want money in exchange for doing things, and so they do some pretty evil things because people like pretty evil things to happen. To exemplify this story of greed, I've got a handful of items, 6. Firstly, we have the sarcophagus of Senamut. It's an Egyptian sarcophagus made during the 18th Empire of Egypt. So the 18th Empire was from 1550 to 1292 BCE. This sarcophagus was made for the highest steward of the pharaoh Hatshepsut for his good service in life. Dude's name was actually Senamut as well. The reason I chose this one is because it really exemplifies an Egyptian greed, being immortalized in death. And, like going to their version of heaven with all your fancy stuff. Right. Second item is ships rather. Phoenician ships. Pretty important for Phoenicia. They're trading ships. They're called galloi. And the Phoenicians would, go around the Mediterranean and colonize and trade with these ships so that they could make some sweet money. And they eventually started to explore outward past the Mediterranean on these ships. The most famous example is them finding apes, and other things like that, including Carthage, founding that as well. Very important. Right, third item is a coin from Constantine the Great's reign, from around 325 CE. This helps solidify his rule, because if you're using a coin like everyone else does, and it has his face on it, he becomes pretty well known for being the Roman Empire. Fourth item is the imperial crown of the Holy Roman Empire. That's right, we moved like 700 years into the future for the next item. Otto the Great's coronation crown was made in 952 CE for his coronation as, I want to say the third Holy Roman Emperor. I'm not sure though. Very, very fancy piece of clothing. It's like pure gold with pearls, and there's this fancy stone on the back, and it's some poetry and things like that, and it's got biblical scenes on it and all that cool stuff, and it really commands respect. And if you're some commoner and you see your Kaiser and he's like, whoa, I'm the Kaiser, and you're like, wow, I'm not the Kaiser, and you see this man and the sun is shining behind him, and the crown is all glittery and golden, you're like, wow, this dude commands respect. He must be pretty powerful if he can wear gold on his head. Right. Next item is another coronation item. It's a Polish sword, which I cannot pronounce. Very fancy sword. They used it from 1320 to 1764 CE, so it does go a bit past our yearly criteria, but besides that, they used it for every coronation, not just one like the Germans. It is really, you don't use the sword to fight, but you use it to look pretty sweet. On the sword itself, the blade, it has the Polish coat of arms, but on the hilt it has more biblical stuff on it. Got some Latin phrases, got some Polish phrases, and it's pretty fancy and well done. Finally, we've got some gold from the Incas, and what they use this gold for, they turn it into things like the item I have is a llama, and this one was built between 1415 and 1533, and they use this to sacrifice to their gods or something, but that's really kind of besides the point, because whenever the Spanish came to kill all the Incas for their gold, this thing was taken and melted down for gold, so the Spanish didn't have to be poor and Spanish anymore. The end.
Alright, now for my section. Hello, I'm Anakin, and my objects in order are the Clovis Spear Point, early writing tablets, Rhine mathematical papyrus, coin with head of Alexander, Hinton, St. Mary mosaic, gold coin of Abd al-Malik, and I wrote about how the history of mankind is a history of war and strife. Personally, I wish I could have included more weapons in my list of objects, but because of the rubric, I was forced to have 3 themes. I chose the Clovis Spear Point because it was one of the weapons used by early man. I chose the early writing tablets because the tablets were the building blocks of early civilization. I chose the Rhine mathematical papyrus because mathematics were... Okay, hold on. Can we read that?
just say it again, because you can just cut it out.
Nope. Gonna redo all that. That's not good. Not good at all.
All right, do it again. Go.
Okay, so Hello, I'm Anakin, and my objects in order are the Clovis Spear Point, early writing tablets, Rhine mathematical papyrus, coin with head of Alexander, Hinton St. Mary mosaic, gold coin with and the gold coin of Abd al-Malik. I wrote about how the history of mankind is a history of warfare and strife. Personally, I wish I could have included more weapons in my list of objects, but because of the rubric, I was forced to have 3 themes. I chose the Clovis Spear Point because it's one of the weapons used by early man. I chose the early writing tablets because these tablets were the building blocks of early civilization. I chose the Rhind mathematical papyrus because mathematics could and were used by early civilization to ration food and supplies for their armies. I chose the coin with the head of Alexander printed on it because the coin represents the rise of large-scale empires with many different cultures fusing together. I chose the Hinton St. Mary mosaic for the sake of getting religion theme out of the way, and I chose the gold coin of al-Malik for the same reason as the Hinton St. Mary mosaic. I'm done.
All right. Okay. So, hello, my name is Jacob, and my list of objects are the Notrek woman bones, the Clovis spear point, the centaur and lapith, the Roman scutum shield, the Veil of York horde, the Triumph of Orthodoxy icon, and the samurai sword. And I wrote that the story of all of us was the story of warfare. And the first object is the Notrek woman bones. The skeleton dates back about 10 to 11,000 years ago in Africa, and the skeleton depicts a woman kneeled over, or kneeled down and bent over, showing that she might have been protecting something, her baby, because she was pregnant. This shows that warfare dates back a long time, like longer than that typically we think about. And the second one is the Clovis spear point, and is around 10,000 years. It was from around 10,000 years ago, and are found in the Americas. This may not be much about warfare, but this is but it was a weapon, and it was used to kill animals like the large mammoth and the bison. And this was most likely a precursor to American Indian spears that they used to fight incoming like intruders like the British when they were colonizing. And the third is the centaur and lapith located inside the Parthenon in Athens. And it shows like a centaur, which is a half man, half human being, on top of a human lapith showing victory over him. And a human lapith is like a Greek soldier that fought the centaurs. And the centaur depicts like the enemy like Persia, and the lapith depicts the Greek soldiers. And the Roman scutum is a scutum shield that dates back into BC, but they updated it to protect him in the 1st century AD to have a better protection. And they adapted it from the shields as far back as the Greek civilization. And it was comprised of strips of bent wood so it could deflect blows of the swords. And the Viking horde was a whole bunch of silver bowls, silver coins, jewelry that was found all around Europe, Asia, and the Americas. And it was hidden because of a ruler, because of them worrying that they'd take the loot or around that. And the Triumph of Orthodoxy is the icon made. It was made because of Theodora the Empress, who legalized icons again, and she and it wasn't made until like 500 years later when they were being attacked by Ottoman Turks, because like that they made it to like give like hope and confidence. And the last one was the samurai sword. It was made in Japan, and this sword was like the soul of the samurai, which means that only an elite soldier like the samurai could carry it. And they followed the Bushido code, which was with a lot of values such as courage, loyalty, and respect. And that was from like 1,300 years ago. And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
That was long.
Or
I tried to make it a bit shorter.
Discussion or no? We just keeping that one discussion.
We just did the discussion. I think the discussion was
good
fine.
enough as it is.
Fine.